So as you can see, a whip stitch is quite easy. All I'm doing is poking through the leather and pulling the thread. I'm just whipping around this edge. Well, we have this bottom and side sewn. Everything's looking really good. The sheath is starting to piece together nicely. So at this point, I'm going to move forward to, quite honestly, the most difficult part of this process. And that is sewing another fringe piece like we have on the bottom on this flap. So the reason this is so difficult is not only we're having to keep our sewing nice and straight, but as we sew around, the leather wants to pull away. So we're constantly having to adjust things. Also, working around this bend is not easy. So the best thing that I can recommend for the beginner who's never worked, or this is their first time making a sheath of this nature, or even a bow or quiver case, is to work slow, methodically, and constantly check their work. The more you make and the more you familiarize yourself with this process, the easier it gets. Trust me. When I first started, I was struggling as well, but you know, you make a couple of them and they do get easier. So yeah, I'll just cut another leather piece the same length as this flap, going around the entire bottom. And I'll show you how to sew this on. I'll show you how to get started. It's a very simple and easy stitch. Once again, we're just going in and out, just like this bottom piece. Alright, so like I said, I figured I would show you how to get this started because it is the trickiest part. So the first thing is take your thread and stack 3 overhand knots on top of each other. And that creates a stopper, so as you wear this sheath and you use it, the material can't slip through. Okay, and once again, this piece is folded over, so it'll sit on the inside of this fold. So what I do is I first line this piece of material up with the side, and I go up about 1.2, 1.3 centimeters, give or take. It just depends on, once again, how big the sheath is and how deep you want to cut the decoration into, which I'll show you later on in the video. So yeah, I go about 1.2, 1.3 centimeters. And I'm going to show you how I hide my knot first off. So from the fold, I poke through, or on the fold, I poke through, and I just run that line on the inside. So you can see we have that knot, it stops at the leather, and then I trim this tag end with a knife, obsidian, scissors in this case, whatever you have. Okay, so then I wrap the thread around once again and through the same hole I poke through once again. Okay. And usually once more. So I'm really securing this end down. Okay, so once again, this is an easy process. I'm just sewing in and out. And I'm getting these stitches closer together, or close together, just like we have been. And nice and straight. So I sew through, Give myself a little bit more material. Okay. And now from the top, I'm just repeating that same pattern. And you can see as the needle pushes through, it's straight with these 2 stitches. So you can see I have a bit of room here, and about 1 centimeter on this underside, and it's really critical to constantly check to see if you're too low or too high. Keep those stitches straight. If you want to cut in decoration, you need enough material to do so. Well, we made it to the end here, and you can see I have a nice straight stitch all around. So I got to tell you once again, that part, if you made it through this far, give yourself a pat on the back, because it is not easy. It's pretty tricky. Okay, so what I do is I go through the last stitch that I ended with, or relatively close to it, and I loop around once, and loop around twice. Okay. Then, from the top piece, this is where we're going to hide the knot, I go through that same hole, but not through the second piece that's facing down, or the fringe part we just sewed on. I just go through the top where that flap was, right? Okay. I just snug it, doesn't need to be too tight, and trim the thread. Okay. Now, I'm just going to hide my knot in between the 2 pieces, and that'll keep it nice and secure. Well, here's what we're looking at. You can see the stitch is nice and straight all around. We have the knot tucked in, and I trim that tag end. So from here, it gets a bit easier, and we'll move on to the next step.